In today's video we are taking a look at Modern Warfare, again in 2020, but this time we are putting a little bit of a spin on it. We're not just asking is it any good in 2020, no, we're asking the question, is the multiplayer actually worth getting at this point in 2020? There's a few reasons to why I wanted to do this video. Not only are we coming right off the reveal of Cold War, which I actually managed to get myself into Warzone and to play that. I thought it was awesome how everyone was running towards the stadium at the end. Really good job on that one. So taking advantage of the YouTube algorithm is one of the points here, because I do actually need to do that. The second point here is that the first time around I don't think I really did a good job of this, and judging by the comments, yeah, I could have done better in the audio department. I honestly think it was normalizing on export that did it. It actually normalized the audio in the background to the overdub. But let's be honest, it's still my fault for not double checking before uploading to YouTube. What do you expect from an idiot with a YouTube channel? Now the last major note, which is probably the most important one, is I've been playing this recently and no one on my friends list at all is actually playing the multiplayer. No one. Nada. Okay, to be fair, I don't have many friends really, I'm a bit of a lone wolf. I don't play well with others. I need some new multiplayer buddies on this game, I guess. But basically, everyone seems to exclusively play Warzone only, regardless if they've got the full game or not. This really got me thinking because the price of the game doesn't seem to have gone down by much. COD games barely go on sale, and when they do, they usually only have like 20% off. It's only really the older titles that go on sale and actually have like 50% off or something like that. You always seem to be paying a premium, and even the DLCs to those games are full price. But anyway, I'm here to inform you about the content that is actually available in MW for the multiplayer side of it, share a few thoughts, maybe help you make an informed decision of whether or not you still think it's worth it, given those premium prices. But then again, on the flip side, this is just an opinion. Don't take it too seriously, take it with a grain of salt, and well, just enjoy the video. Okay, so let's talk about noteworthy stuff. On a plus side, all your progression does go towards Warzone, and every game mode included in the multiplayer. There is a playlist rotation and new updates to the playlist. Usually this is a normal map rotation, Ground Wars, which is the bigger 64 player game, and then what I want to say is miscellaneous. This stuff kind of changes. Last time I played it, it was like 1v1 was in this playlist. This can include tournaments sometimes, or a playlist called Shoot the Ship, which is basically shipment over and over again. I don't know why anyone would subject themselves to that, but hey. You keep doing you. Some of the changes to the playlist can actually be quite unique though, with some of the playlists actually enabling realism mode, which is extra headshot damage. It's actually pretty interesting to play that. They did have a realism mode even on the Ground Wars, so there's a lot of diversity getting played with as seasons change, and as new maps get added to the multiplayer. There's over 40 maps now, and yes, they can be played privately, and you can play against AI bots. If you're the type of player that doesn't like to actually play the multiplayer online, there is a few you out there, I do know. You don't get the Ground War maps because, well, there's a cap of 6 versus 6. Honestly, I would like to see that cap completely removed, and I'd like to see the Ground Wars maps given to private matches. That would be absolutely awesome. And before anyone wants to say that that can't actually be done, all I'm going to say is Star Wars Battlefront. Yeah, their skirmish mode, something like that. 2 people did that, only 2. Honestly, if they did that for the last season before Cold War comes out, that would actually still give some replayability to the game long after. We all know that everyone just moves on to the new COD, and the old one just dies a slow and painful death. But anyway, that is off the point, that is off the topic. Oh yeah, I do that, I get sidetracked sometimes in videos. I call it a part of my charm. I'm yet to actually play the single player, the co-op, and the survival mode, which was the exclusive to PlayStation 4. It's to my understanding that you don't have to do these modes in co-op, so if the plan is to actually buy this game and play it mostly offline and privately, there is that option. Whether or not it has enough content for you, I guess that depends on what price you're actually buying the game at. I'm just speculating now, but I can guess, and this is just a guess, because it does have the cross-play functionality, I'm guessing that it's going to stay at a premium for quite some time. But anyway, let's talk about the multiplayer experience right now. Last time I checked, this game had about 5 million on PlayStation 4 alone. Granted, that was some time ago, and the numbers are inflated obviously because of Warzone and its free-to-play nature, but literally it takes me about 30 seconds to queue up when I'm doing it solo. It obviously takes longer if you're in a party, and it depends on the variation of skill and the diversity of the party members. This is a matchmaking thing. Matchmaking isn't that great, to be honest. Quite frequently I find myself being the only control pad user amongst the sea of keyboard and mouse players. But honestly, this is the only FPS game that I can definitively say that I prefer using a control pad on. This is because of some of the back-end issues that I did speak about, hit detection compensation, especially when in crossplay, angles don't quite line up and stuff like that. The game can run perfectly fine sometimes and then just do its own thing. It's temperamental, let's just say. It has been since launch, to be honest. If you're not going to be a player that's going to get really sour about everything, and believe me, there is a lot of people that take this game way too seriously. If you're going to casually play it like the arcade game that it is and not worry about these things, another reason why I just use a control pad with the game, then it can sort of be overlooked. It does kind of feel like a testing ground for the new engine though, so community-wise, I think this game does lean towards the more toxic side. A lot of unspeakable profanities, racism, that sort of thing. It is fun to hear someone have a little bit of a meltdown though, especially if you're the one who just killed them. Camping in the game is still a very powerful, legit strategy, and you will come across it a lot. As I do say, I don't prefer to play that way. I like to rush, which can lead to more deaths than not. That's just the way that I have fun with multiplayer in this game. I do love using like the P90, SMGs, but I also do rush with a Kar 98 sometimes, which is hilarious to get reactions from people when you just pop out and kill them. In fact, I think the most footage that I got was actually with the Kar 98. It's just my bread and butter when it comes to video games. The creme de la creme. It's why I love 50 cal so much. There's nothing more satisfying than the crunch of a one-shot kill. Well, that's if the hit detection actually works, because sometimes it's a little bit naff, as we've said. I actually do prefer the multiplayer and the fast-paced nature of it a little bit more than the battle royale. That is just a personal preference, obviously. I'm a bit old school. I do like the old school game modes. I guess I'm just a dinosaur that doesn't like change. What I would love to see though, and this is really just catering to my playstyle, I would love to see a playlist that was a no camp playlist. Does anyone actually remember no camp servers? I'm pretty sure they had them in the original Modern Warfare actually. That would actually be awesome if it just kicks players if they camp. But regardless of playstyle and whether or not that kind of thing annoys you or whether you actually like to do it, nothing is worse than the amount of cheaters I've actually come across recently. That is the biggest down point I think about the game. Now yes, this is because I am on the PC. It seems that people on the PC are the ones that are cheating. I don't know why the master race wants to do that. You're the master race already, come on. You should be setting a good example. Please don't get salty about that, that is just satire by the way. But yeah, the first time around, barely came across any. Like when I'm talking few and far apart, I actually mean few and far a bloody part. This time around, however, about 2 in 10 matches maybe. Like it's super obvious if someone is using hacks. I mean yes, there is some crazy things that you can do in this game, but even the best players on the game have their limitations. Even though I'm not going to be playing Modern Warfare a whole ton, like this isn't one of my go-to games. This is a game that I do play on and off. I definitely did have an enjoyable experience as a whole coming back to it. Sure, it has its down points. I was glad that I made the purchase going back, and I will return to it, probably again in the future. Also, as a final note here, I will leave system specs to the game here, and I think that's going to do it for the video because I don't want to make it too long. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, then please share it with someone who might enjoy it too. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, hit the like button, comment down below on anything that we've talked about today, consider joining our Discord community, and I hope this video helps in some kind of way. With that said, I've been Jaguar from Tech Evolved, and I'll see you in the next video.
How?
Oh my god, is that everyone running to the stadium? What the hell?
Really boring that was, waste of my time.